So I think Coastal have a couple of things up their sleeve once again. I definitely can see a world where we end this map in, or end this game, this series in a 2-0. But like you said, we're more than likely going to a third map.
One notable thing for Coastal is that both Flores and Maverick are on the board, along with Habana, which you'd expect. With Ying being banned and Thatcher being removed, that leaves the RCXDs and that blowtorch that makes your life a living hell. As much as I hate to say the word, it's about as accurate as it gets because you cannot hold down dirt with Flores available. It's a detriment to your extended hold on the east side of the map, especially here on the basement. Nobody really holds down dirt when you're not playing basement. If you do, reevaluate your strats. That's all I have to say.
So the Gold 2 caster is calling out people's strats.
I
This
am.
is the I mean, we do get that top-down view, and we have an analytical mindset that unfortunately just doesn't come to fruition when we are trying to click on heads ourselves. But
Exactly.
yeah, but we do have an overhead view of the game. We do have a interesting perspective on it. It seems like Victorem are going for this extended roam. Question is do CSG have a read on it? My initial answer is yes, considering the placement of these pre-placed drones. It seems like they're going to have a pretty good pinch coming into onto Buzz, but they have to be aware of Ash's position deeper inside of the shower hallway, and I'm sure that they are now that Buzz went for that rotation outside of the showers. It seems like a bait and switch coming out from Victorem. Will they get any kills off of it is the question.
Not early, I don't think. I don't think anybody's going to die as early as you early expect, especially with everybody vacating the premises. This roam did not delay as much as it should have. Buzz was cleared out early. Good droning from Coastal again, crossing their T's, dotting their I's, doing their due diligence. I'm going to say it because it makes sense, and it's exactly what we need to see from teams in these situations. Check your corners, and check some rooms that you usually don't see players in, because that's what the opponents are going to exploit, that you usually don't see people in those situations. They're going to catch you off guard. Buzz playing an off angle at the bottom of the freezer stairs. This is a good spot to sit in, especially if you're the Vigil. You can pop that cloak ability to any observational tools and bang your invisible to the non-naked eye. And, well, look at that aggression. There's one popping the ability, popping the shots, and popping their first kill. Beamed is dropped. Beamed gets beamed. Hibana off early. That's your hard breach gone.
Will fall meanwhile as well. Brios again with that consistency that we love to talk about when we are talking about Brios. But now they are down the hard breacher in Habana, so they have to depend solely on this Maverick blowtorch to try and get this backside hatch open. And Buzz is meanwhile relocated down towards the pillar stairs. It seems like Coastal only have one avenue of attack available to them, and that is going to be down these tower stairs. You also have Engage trying to get things going in through dirt, but you have to get a good amount of elbow control before you can get that to stick for you, and I'm sure that there is a great deal of soft walls available to try and get that done for you. Engage in perfect position, though will find Rock going for a rotation, and he has to deal with Kappa as well. Landing some of the shots, but the smoke grenade will quell that attack for just a little bit. Buzz finding a kill of his own as well. That's Rios going down. Gav taking a considerable amount of damage as well, but it's Bix on the back end, finding a triple kill and buying Coastal that round.
Nice first, and a good second and third to close it out. LMFAO, wow. What? Okay, swinging into a downed player and somebody who wasn't looking at you. I don't know if that deserves all that in chat, but a good play nonetheless, and a good first round for Coastal, really setting the tone here on Oregon. Again, not their map pick, highlighting that super duper quickly, because Victorem need a good defensive side on a map that really can go either way, because if Coastal get onto the site that is usually defender favored, you usually see that around kids' dorms and dorms main hall, or even laundry supply, they're going to be able to close this out in 3 rounds minimum if they win the half. Now, albeit that's a long way away, they still need to win 3 rounds of the final 5 in this half to do so, but they did it before in the attacking side over on Villa, where the defense does have some essence of control and usual victories between some sites, and we just did not see that from Victorem. I'm no fan of Deja Vu, especially when it means we don't get a third map.
Neither am I, but I am a fan of Coastal Gaming's performance in so far, right? they don't let losing an early engagement really define their story inside of a round, right? They have done such a good job at recovering from these picks where I believe that Victorem are like, wow, you know, we're getting these picks, we're slowing down their attack. Coastal have not been slowed down in the slightest. They have been steadfast in terms of getting these, you know, refrags going, even if it comes maybe 5 to 10 seconds later. And that is something that I have loved coming out from Coastal. And Victorem have simply had no response, but a little bit of a different look coming in from Victorem this time around. A little bit more emphasis holding this meeting side. You also have Kappa to intercept anyone that tries to push the bottom steps as well. So a little bit more of an extension coming out from Victorem. But if they do lose this meeting control, that means that Coastal have such a good vertical hold on the rest of the site. Ashes is getting pinched upon, and well, you're not going to escape that if you are Victorem. And this hold is falling by the wayside. Buzz finds one, but you've already lost two from Victorem. You are down a man.
Needless to say, that was questionable. I don't know about that push from Ashes. It costs them early. Kappa falls elsewhere. The two SAS operators are 0-2 in our first 2 rounds of play. Not a great start for the Brits, but they can build back into this one. The Korean op of Buzz is now 3-1. This is a decent start here on the defensive side. Bix, oh my goodness, what is that swing? Rock is dropped like a rock, falling to the floor like a sack of potatoes, dead where he stood, but it is brought back. Buzz has pushed to the top of tower, looking to lock down this position, and has used the fact that he has that cloaking ability to hide out here. No longer has it and has to use an impact to get the heck out and dodge. No reason to stick around when you don't have the ability to do so, nor the anonymity to pull it off. Now trying to reposition yet again, trying to switch it up here on the attacking side for the defensive side, but it's just not working. It will not play out. Gav will close them both out. Coastal win the second round, and again, questionable defense from Victorem.
Valiant attempt. I loved how Buzz was playing so dynamically on those stairs. He was able to rotate up to the top, which was curious as well. So Coastal definitely need to work on, you know, trying to clear out those main stairs, but Victorem eventually not finding any sort of success with that alternative look of the basement bomb site. So now they say, hey, we need to try something different. We are getting absolutely smoked right now, and we definitely don't want our season to end in this fashion, considering that they were so dominant enough to take the first seed, might I add. So yeah, Coastal most certainly inside of the driver's seat. Victorem need to pick up a round here, otherwise the momentum will be firmly, if it isn't already so, in the hands of Coastal, and Victorem are going to be scratching and itching and trying to make a comeback happen.
Victorem finally switching things up. I think try them twice and you back away is the theme of today. That's what both teams have really been doing between their defensive sides. Trying something, if it doesn't work, try it a little differently but the exact same site, and if that doesn't work, go somewhere else. That was the call from Victorem back on Villa. That was the same thing for Coastal on Villa. And, well, we're seeing that Victorem here. They dropped the bottom floor twice, Coastal with 2 very good attacks, and a very chaotic attack, forcing Victorem into awkward positions, like Buzz having to throw an impact at the attic wall, yet not being able to back away because there was no information elsewhere on the map, other than, well, there's 2 players here, what can I do off of that? The answer was nothing, by the way, for all of you wondering. Gav is just better and has the LMG that does indeed go burr, almost catching a timing. They could have shot, but again, they don't have x-ray vision. At least I'd hope not. That would be very, very bad for, you know, competitive integrity. But Buzz, ooh, this is aggression that we really haven't seen from Victorem. Timing.
Siege timing hitting once again, and it is a common theme amongst all FPSs, but I just feel like it is so brutal when it comes inside of Rainbow Six Siege, because you would have known that Buzz is sitting there, you would have known that Kappa was not where you had drawn them earlier, and now Coastal are playing this round in a man disadvantage. They've lost a good amount of their frag grenades as well. I think they've lost 4 of them out of the available 6, and Bix hasn't found a conversion with his own frag grenades either. So if Coastal want to win this round out, it's going to have to come down to the teamwork. Well, it does make the dream work, but it comes down to the teamwork that they can pull off amongst each other. You also have Engage that has had a pretty good day on the mouse and keyboard so far. I'm wondering if Victorem get on the aggressive here, or if they just, you know, park the bus a little bit and see what angles they can establish, and it seems like that'll be so. You have Kappa sitting here inside of security. He can also watch the push up the white stairs as well. And yeah, Coastal are a little too spread out. It seems like Victorem are going to win this round.
You said the word brutal. That is the most applicable adjective combination ever. I love it. You save breath and you're correct. It is brutal and beautiful. Both adjectives, very applicable, both extremely prevalent here in this one. Engage. Wow. Somebody write that down. Did you see that? Fake the dismount and shoot to break the animation. That's how you do it. Swing around from ashes does not find the kill, but the LMG is still alive, and they need to deal with it. The 3 versus 5 down to the 3 versus 4 as the smoke dies again. SAS operators thus far in this map are 0 and 5 on the defense.
No success being found out from one of the special units that you would expect to have some success later on in the round. You have Kappa sitting here inside of this corner. The crossfire is there for Ashes as well, and the diffuser is going to be caught down inside of that windowsill. It all comes down to Engage, who finds 2, but nothing more. It'll be Victorem winning out a round and stopping that momentum. This is a round that they needed oh so desperately time.
It's a good second shot, by the way. I don't know how the heck he hit it, but hey, good nonetheless. Victorem get their first round a little late, but better late than never, as the kids say. They will put their first defensive round on the board. And the word you were looking for, by the way, is the Special Air Service. That's the SAS.
Yeah, it just didn't come to my brain.
You gotta at Liam. You at Liam in our production chat. He's British. Just ask him really quick. By the way, quick shout out to our production team while I'm at it. Tiggy's our observer. He's the one that, shows you everything on your camera. And, well, Liam, the Brit himself, running production in the background, making sure we can see the game, you can see the game, and you can hear our voices. They're both cool. Go say hi on Twitter. Just look up Liam_LSG, and I think Tiggy. I don't know what Tiggy's Twitter is off the top of my head. I will let you know when I find out.
I'm sure that we have the commands set up in Twitch, so if you want to
do exclamation point casters.
Socials, exclamation point casters, you will find all of the talent information if you so desire. If you want to find any information inside of the round, well, just look no further than your screens. You see Victorem have made their way back down to the basement. This is a site that they have found absolutely no success on, despite the different looks that they've shown. This one looks like a little bit more traditional of a hold. You have reinforced the meeting hatch as opposed to trying to play around it, which I loved to play initially, but eventually it just got a little bit too risky to play against. And you have Buzz here, maybe going for a red hot, maybe going for a little bit of a spawn peek here. I love this aggressive play that comes out from Victorem, but it doesn't seem like he'll have the opportunity to make anything of it. What a quiet approach. They're slithering in the dirt like a snake. Will Victorem know that this rush is coming in? It seems so, because Captain is here to intercept him.
He could have hit the shots. They're just going to push it off of this. Blitz pushing through, holding W. Kappa still finds one. Melee, and the shots. No way he finds another. Kappa's actually TK'd. They do end up finishing him off, but into the 2 versus 2. Everything has fallen apart for both teams. Nobody knows what the heck is going on. Neither do I. Victorem win the round, even though Gav gets the final kill. What is this game?
Any of the shields that you want to bring. Why is it Blitz? It is never Blitz! I never want Blitz on my team. And I'm sorry, Blaze. I love you. But this is my argument against the shield meta. I don't know what the heck happened in that side of that round. It was a rush, pseudo rush coming in from Coastal, considering that they, alt walk their way towards that double door that sits in dirt. But yeah, Victorem Defender was just sitting there, ready to intercept them, ready to catch them with loving arms and all of that jazz. And now it's 2-2. Victorem have brought this back. Coastal Gaming, you might have called your shot perfectly timed. We could be headed towards a 7-5.
This is gonna be good. This is going to be a good map. Coastal Gaming on the attacking side. I don't know how they didn't win that. Victorem and that same right. I don't know how they did. That confused the ever-loving crap out of me. By the way, for all of you wondering what happened, if you want to stick around, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes, depending on how long this game gets, I'm going to play the Weatherman rule that PUBG likes to do with their map, where you take what the heck just happened or what is happening and you put it behind you. I'm actually going to set up my green screen in the middle of this so I can do that, because I'm intrigued, to say the very least, I don't know how the heck that just happened. But we're going to find out at the end of this game because I'm going to clip it. I'm going to put it behind me. We're going to make it look good, to say the very least.
Love this bit, and I love the bit of running LMGs until Kingdom Come. Engage finding a pick through the window, and that is a pick that, you know, you find for absolutely free. The refrac is there from Brock. A sneaky little peek through the small tower window will eventually catch Brios, who, well, we laud his consistency throughout every single time that we like to cast this guy, but hasn't found the consistency inside of this map as of just yet. Have they cleared out Kappa too is a gigantic question. It doesn't seem so. He'll find a headshot for absolutely free. Buzz will find a kill on the back end as well. Gav with a refrag coming in with that LMG. It's all going to come down to Beamed and Gav if they want to win out this round. But that being said, Coastal have shown the propensity to win these 2v3 situations. But with all of Victorem walking around like a pack of wild dogs, Coastal are going to have to find a double kill if they want any hope in hell, and they have to get the refrags off of each other. They need to play for trades right now.
And they haven't done that enough thus far this map to justify trying it. Shots through don't land, but a good attempt at doing so to confuse, again, the ever-loving heck out of Coastal. You have to know where your opponents are, and the information is indeed there here for the Victorem side. The third site in the rotation is a deadly one to play. The impact actually almost gets Gav killed, at least lower on HP, and then they probably could have pushed off of it. In goes the Gon 6. That won't do any damage, but it does clear out the nade. Oh, no, there's a magnet there. It won't land. Regardless, actually it does. Oh no! He's forced out! The coordination! Beamed! Gets the kill! Gav with another! Ashes 1 versus 2, the coordination you were talking about does come into fruition, but now they need to coordinate against a singular target rather than a hat trick of them. Ashes prone, makes an audio cue, and gives away his position. There's the information. There's the push that should indeed come through. Beamed, here's this. Here's the push. There's the swing. Ashes finds one. Into the 1 versus 1. The nade will not land anywhere near where Ashes has now pushed. Gav probably could have switched off of that, but Ashes has vacated the premises, exited stage left. Pick a metaphor. It's applicable. He's in small tower playing a rotate hole through onto the diffuser, which has now been picked up. Wow.
15 seconds remain. All Ashes has to do is pop up at the right time, pick up the headshot, and suddenly we've found Victorem in the lead. Gav puts the well played out in the chat, and I have to agree, I love the call to try and relocate and establish a different angle. Gav had no idea it was coming. He tried to return fire on his own, but at the end of the day, Victorem are up 3-2.
That's not a round you should win on either side. It should not have been that close, nor should have Victorem have won it in the end. Ashes a very well played 1 versus 2, individualizing the 1 versus 1s and picking your fights where you need to take them. Coastal made a mistake in that. They were playing together and then they weren't, and that's when it cost them. It was a good nade combination through the floor into the Z rotate and the kill, but Victorem had Ashes bring it back. It should not have happened. Plain and simple, should not have been brought through, yet it was, and they win because of it. That's at least a guaranteed half tie. Now they head onto the site that they've already won once, and in relatively dominant fashion for the only second time thus far this game. They're looking to bat 100, or 1,000 actually, on this site. If they were going 1 for 10 on this site, that would be awful.
Yeah, I would question your placement as a team, but that being said, Kappa and the rest of Victorem have found a great deal of success over the past 3 rounds. Obviously, Coastal started off this map hot, winning 2 in a row. Then Victorem respond and say, hey, 3 is greater than 2, and that's exactly what we're going to put up on the board. And it's all come down to just these aggressive peaks that Coastal have definitely not been expecting, right? You see the free kills coming out. It was Brios a couple of rounds ago. You also saw Gav going down early on some occasions as well. I love this adjustment from Victorem, and they're meeting Coastal's aggression firsthand. And now Coastal's drone game is going to have to be perfect once again. We've seen this hold before. We have Buzz and Kappa playing amongst each other pretty close. You have Kappa holding inside of security, but this time it seems that Coastal have adjusted to it. They're sending the buck over that way. They also have the pinch coming in from the shower hallway as well, but Kappa has a means of trying to rotate on out. if he feels the pressure is too much for him to handle, he can just drop down that hash that you just showed, or that we just showed him opening up. And, well, things are working out perfectly for neither side as Coastal find a kill, but Victorem finds one as well. A minute and 55 seconds, and Kappa still holds security with a tight grip.
Kappa doing his best David Bowie / Queen impression, being put under pressure, yet locking it down. Rock gets the information, nade thrown through, doesn't become lethal. Smoke is still very much alive and still very much... No, never mind. Yeah, sorry about that, Caster's Curse, my bad. I'll take credit for that one. Apologies. But it is traded back. So the 3 versus 3, not the end of the world. Brios is indeed dead because of that, and the diffuser's dropped. This could end the round. The site's on the top floor. They have a lot of control on the west side of the map, but they have no first floor control other than that far west side. They have no classroom control nor meeting control. They can't push off of this. And all 3 defenders are within 10-15 meters of that diffuser in 3 different angles. This is a problem for the attack.
It all comes down to that information game. They have 6 drones available to them. They have the time as well to try and slow this round down and potentially force a couple of picks through. You have Engage leading the way here for Coastal Gaming on that top floor, with Ashes holding at the top of the main stairs, as well as Kappa there in close proximity to try and hold things out. Beamed will be the initiator. He tries to push on through, but he gets met by that person playing at the top of the main stairs. Ashes will eventually escape with his life. Kappa trying to put things up on his own end. Meanwhile, Buzz relocating to contest onto the diffuser as well. 30 seconds remain, and Engage trying to get things going. He eventually finds that kill onto Kappa. Things are going great for the side of Coastal Gaming. Victorem, they seem to have had a vice grip on the round, but now it's down to Buzz. He's trying to flank on through, but I think the flank drones have been set up, and the diffuser is going down as well. If Buzz is going to do this, he needs to get this flank going quickly before Gav has the opportunity to reposition, and there he goes. Buzz will be shut down, and Coastal Gaming quell and put the tourniquet on to their wounds from that attacking half, and now that we're going to see them on the defensive side. 3-3 split as we head into round 7.
Good final attack. They were in a difficult position, and they fixed it. That was the main point that we brought up over on Villa as well. The adaptation from the Coastal Gaming side, whether that was on the attack where they had the 4-2 in their favor, or the defense where they cleaned things out in one of the more interesting rounds we've seen thus far this season. A rush into a stopping play, into a rush again. I'm going to continue to bring that up because it's so weird. Yet, Victorem, now on the attacking side, it is their map pick, so that is the advantage for them, but they're still up against it. Coastal look confident, and especially on the defensive side, they won 3 of 6 rounds in the previous map, which was their map pick. For them, they're looking to replicate. They need 4 of 6 this time around, at least, at minimum. I mean, if they could just do 4 of 4 and clean things out evenly, they'd win 7-3, they'd win 2-0. Nice finish quickly. It's a possibility. I still think it's going to be 7-5 Victorem, but Coastal are by no means out of this one.
Coastal are definitely in the driver's seat, despite this map leaning maybe a little bit more towards the attackers. They definitely have shown the propensity to win their defenses, and it all comes down, again, to the aggression that Victorem showed on their defensive side, might I add. Coastal love these, off-angle picks. They love getting some, kills that you wouldn't really expect from if you are the attacking side, right? No matter how much drone work you do, sometimes you just get caught out. That is a fact of life here inside of Rainbow Six, and it's certainly shown its ugly head throughout this matchup many a time. 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the round, and Victorem are going for this basement defense. They set it up in, a little bit more of a default sort of fashion here, and by Victorem, I meant Coastal Gaming, my apologies. They've set it up in a more traditional sense where they put a rotation there down towards dirt to allow yourself a little bit of flexibility as you wait for the Victorem to push on in, and it seems like Victorem want to initiate this push from the western side of the map.
Understandably so. They want to confuse this Coastal side. Vinny looking to initiate a lot of soft breaching availability on the attacking side, making everything difficult to roam for Coastal. Now, notably, Nomad is not banned this time by Victorem, so they're able to play it if they want to. They know the variability of Coastal. If they want to get aggressive, they can deal with it. They have to, of course, attack or repick it or adapt in the following round. But the possibility is still there. Notably with Cade not banned, I'm surprised we're not seeing a Cade. There's no way for this attacking side to deal with something like a Cade other than maybe the Maverick, but even then, you can counter the Maverick if you just flank or an awkward angle. There's a swing. Ashe is barely alive, actually. I'm a little surprised they stayed up in that situation. I'm also a little surprised Vix missed. Uncharacteristic.
Uncharacteristic, but also bold as hell, pushing into the sightline of an LMG. That is certainly a risky play, but if there's anyone that can land that shot, it is most certainly Bix. But, well, hey ho ho hum, it didn't happen, and now we are using our 2020 vision to critique it just a little bit. Meanwhile, Beam is still sitting here strong inside of blue. He can intercept this player that's sitting inside of dirt, but you also have a push down the main stairs to worry about. You also have Buzz and Rock who have established themselves inside of meeting as well. You need to be very aware of those two players, otherwise you are eventually going to be felled. Engage will go down. That's Vinny on the main steps. Will they get the refrag going is the question. Brios is going huge. He finds two. Bix finds one as well. Kappa trying to make things happen in through elbow with Ashes pushing down the main stairs as well. It all comes down to two of the highlight players here from Coastal. Headshot comes in from Kappa, almost finding Gav as well, but Gav now alone in a 1v2, and he also has the HP advantage up against Ashes, and there goes Ashes. Coastal win their first defensive round.
Exactly what they need. Again, momentum in their favor. Nice swing as well. Obscenities from Gav, understandably so. That's not particularly nice, but you won a 1 versus 1. I'll give you a pass on this one. Good first defensive round for Coastal, and now they can build off of that. Again, I've been talking about building off of things and momentum, especially on the defensive side of maps, because it's so prevalent. The momentum that you see time and time again, you need to have that in your favor. Victorem thus far have not on either of the two maps. They've been playing the comeback train, and it hasn't been too successful. Albeit they brought it to 12 rounds over on Villa, they just did not win. That was their main issue. That may be replicated here. If this continues and Coastal get to 5-3, I don't see a way in which Victorem win it in regulation. I may have to retract my 7-5.
I was going to call this an upset, but can we really call this an upset
No.
considering the vice grip that Coastal has had on the Genesis League? Granted, you know, they've gone through a couple of name changes, but right now, as Coastal Gaming, they seem like they are in the driver's seat to win out this series and push themselves into the grand finals. Meanwhile, I mean, if you're looking at it as a Victorian fan, then heck yes, this is an upset, considering the fact that you came into this playoffs as the #1 seed, and you are about to get 2-0'd, which, by the way, has not happened in any other series inside of this playoffs to my memory. But yeah, Coastal Gaming certainly the driver's seat. You have Brios going on his trademark roam once again. Will he be able to get any kills? No, it won't be Brios finding the kill. Instead, it's Bix using that MX4 and catching Rock red-handed. You've lost your hard breacher. Things go horribly here in the outset of this round for Victorem.
Not a great start, but they've had that comeback availability before. I think they can pull it off again. This time it's more in a round rather than a half overall. Do they clear out this Showers Hall? Oh no, they don't clear it out with a drone. It is the 2-for-2 trade overall in terms of favoring Victorem. They lost that opening kill, but they brought it back with a 2-for-1. That's not the end of the world, but it's not a way you want to continually push yourself to bring things back into a round. You can't force yourself back into these situations because it's going to wear against you. Momentum, again, against them, they can build it back, but they have to continue to string kills and rounds together, and they just have not been able to do that. It's been okay since Villa, but it hasn't been what they need.
A bomb has been located.
While we have a minor dip in the action, I would like to retract my previous statement about 2-0s. Earlier inside the playoffs, we didn't ask 2 versions, so I do apologize for that. But nonetheless, we are seeing the gunfire once again. Beamed actually goes down. I'm not 100% sure where from. It seems like Victorem's presence from down below is making Coastal Gaming pay. Beamed in no position to get picked up either unless Engage, can find a kill inside of the dorms here. But look at the push coming in through light as well, and the Sophia Lifeline will eventually find that confirmation onto Beamed. It comes down to Engage and Gav once again, but Gav has been such an effective fragger here for CSG. Question is do they know that they're coming up the white stairs? Yes, they do. The pre-fire doesn't land for Engage. Gav finding a kill of his own, but the U just can't deal with an LMG when it has that much ability to get some pre-fires going. Victorem stop the bleeding once again and tie us back up.
that even these teams cannot separate themselves from one another. I still think we're seeing 12 rounds. I just don't know if it's going to OT or whether Coastal's going to win it. I don't think Victorem win this in regulation. On the attacking side, I'm going to stick with that from right now. They needed a 4-2 split to have that availability. They didn't on the defensive side, so I think their best case scenario as it stands is 6-6. Coastal can win it on the defensive side, but they need to continue to bring that back with their momentum. I'm going to continue to talk about momentum. I don't care if I sound like a broken record. It's continually applicable. Coastal lost that round, and now they're going back to what just didn't work. Now, notably, it's not as much of a switch as I would like, because they're mainly switching how they play it rather than the comp they're playing it with. Hopefully, at least they're switching how they play it. They're reinforcing over towards Attic again. I don't think we're going to see as much aggression out of them. That opening pick was great, but they got over-aggressive after it, and it cost them later on. If that changes, I think they're in a good spot. Maybe get an opening pick and then back up, or maybe even just wait. Let Victorem walk into you. You can play the crossfires without pushing yourself too hard.
It's a little bit backwards from what you would expect when you find a free opening pick, right? Once you find that opening pick, there is no reason for you to overextend and try and get, you know, the nail into the coffin, so to speak. You can just sit back onto those angles and win those out because you took out Rock, which was playing that Thermite instead of that last round. I'm not sure if Coastal knew that they took out the Thermite, but nonetheless, like you said, there was no reason to get aggressive, and ultimately that hubris was what lost Coastal that round. So if we can see a different, a different sort of take onto this round here from Coastal, then I'm sure that they're going to get this adjustment to land. But Victorem, this time around, they've kept Rock alive, which allows them to attack onto this master bedroom and get that wall open. Question is, will that pan out for Victorem? Obviously, we didn't get to see that previously because Rock had such a difficulty escaping the spawn. This time around, though, much more map control, and Victorem have already opened up that master closet door, that wall. But Bix, again, finding that opening pick.
Speed for Victorem is something that, again, they need to bring forward. Oh no, the C4. Gav with a double, collapsing this attack. Speed could have been their Achilles heel. Rock pushing forward, will find one. No, looks the wrong way. 3 different players, 3 different angles, losing to every single one. It's Kappa at the bottom of White Stairs to win any gunfight possible, to just bring themselves back into this 1 versus 5. Ace clutch scenario for the Twitch of all players. Has 2 smokes, a full F2, and 80 seconds on the clock. I will give it to him. This is very possible, albeit Coastal are not going to give him the gunfights, so the odds of it happening are, well, slim to none, but it's possible.
I like the smoke grenade play here. Give him a little bit of coverage to try and, escape on through into the master bedroom, but beamed Reddit through and through. And you also give the ability for Gav to kind of pivot around it as well. But the pre-fire comes through the smoke from the F2. Gav goes down, and suddenly this round is looking a little bit more winnable. But there comes a point in time where you just have to walk into one of these crossfires, and I have a feeling that is where this comeback attempt is going to rest. Beamed will find the final kill on the round. Coastal go up 5-4 here inside of this matchup, but things just went horribly for Victorem in the early onset of that round. I mean, the F2 is a perfect gun to try and, win out that round, but I think it's just a little bit too tall of a task. Victorem can't afford to lose these early gunfights, especially when they get so much control, right? You open up that master closet wall, but what did you do with it? Absolutely nothing. You walked straight into the crossfires from Coastal, and you left it down to a 4v1 scenario.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Let's play that one a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie to you. Again, it's easier to say from the casting point of view, but they were playing with a little bit too much speed and a lot less information than they should work off of. That was a similar round to what we saw in round 12 of Villa, where they played quickly and then slowed down immediately. They got a lot of control, they just didn't build off of that multi-dimensionally, and that, in the end, is exactly what cost them. I would like to see them do something similar down towards the basement, yet make it a 2 or 3 dimensional attack, push towards the blue stairs, maybe towards Freezer, or down main at the exact same time. You can also give some dirt control. Of course, you need to put 2 or 3 players together, maybe play with some overall control as a squad, but you have to force Coastal into mistakes, and they just haven't thus far. Coastal have been very comfortable here on the defensive side. It hasn't been too difficult for them. They've won 2 of 3 rounds, and the round that Victorem won was I wouldn't say a spotty one, but it certainly could have gone the Coastal way.
Really like what you said about forcing Coastal into mistakes, because Coastal didn't really force themselves into mistakes on the one attack that Victorem won, right? They got a little over aggressive. That is an unforced error coming in from Coastal, and now, I mean, we're singing their praises, but whenever Coastal get over aggressive, it is really a 50-50 as to whether or not they're going to win that round. Victorem here starting their attack the same way once again, but this time they are very spread out over the, length of that ground floor, with Kappa initiating things at the bottom of the freezer stairs. You have Brios there to try and contest, but you have Vinny as well trying to go for a flank, but Engage, he definitely heard that sledgehammer pop off, and he knows that Vinny is sitting here up in this elevated position. They know that Victorem are going for a little bit more of a split up attack, but question is do they have the coverage for it? You have the drones coming in as well to counteract any of this utility that Coastal have on the bottom floor. Nobody there to shoot it out. Victorem are going to have an easy sort of meta game here with their utility. Coastal have to get this done through the gunfire.
They need to, and they have the dimensions to do it. I was talking about that multi-dimensional attack. That's exactly what we're seeing. They're pushing from 2 or 3 different angles, one of those being the main stairs, the second being towards that freezer side. You can see Buzz, Ashes, all, and that's... Oh, okay, Ashes is dead. That's why I can't have nice things. I make great points, and then just a gunfight. Sometimes it's just gunfights that need to be won. They're throwing in a lot of utility here on this attacking side and getting a bit of utility, or getting a bit of control off of it, but the magnets are placed well. They've denied everything on this side, but a good nade and a good bit of control here on this attacking side can be the catalyst to a Victorem win. 4 versus 2 now favoring this attack, and the multi-dimensional attack is exactly what they needed. Pushing through, Beam still in a good position, looking to beam them down. That's the second time I've used that, by the way. Beamed can win this, but has to hit it. Engage gets 1, and another as well. This is still possible. Shotgun with another. Buzz, 1 versus 1.
Engage in a tense 1v1, but he has the HP advantage. Buzz trying to get this diffuser down, but does he hear Engage trying to sprint on through? He's going for a little bit of jukes. What are we playing Madden here? And eventually he does land the final juke to get that final kill. Coastal Gaming on that point. Buzz is coming out in the chat. Coastal Gaming know that they have control over this matchup. Question is will the mind games get to Victorem, or will Victorem dig themselves out of this coffin?
Victorem are facing match point. This is send yourself to third place point, or the third place game point. Coastal win this and go to grand finals on Sunday. I would not want to be Victorem right now. I would not want to be Buzz right now. It was so close yet so far in that situation, and it's such a dire situation here for Victorem. They're pushing on the attacking side and gaining a lot of control, yet not able to build off of it. That was a 4 versus 2, by the way. Favoring themselves, yet they lose on the bottom floor. They did exactly what I thought they should have, and performed it well up until the final 2 kills. And that is when you need to play as a team. You need to force players to look in 2 or 3 different directions all at the same time. That's when you establish your crossfires when there's still time on the clock. They took too much time to do so. They forced themselves into that dire position where you have to hold W or you lose the round based off the 6th man on the defense. That, of course, being time, not time to light.
Nice. Yeah, you're head bopping in our OBS Ninja. I'm gonna yell at you later for that. That was a horrible joke.
That was great.
And no, it was not horrible. Or it. Oh well.
Yeah, I got him. I got him. Said it.
My stuttering has definitely just bit me in the butt once again. But
Clip it, ship it.
Yeah, clip it and ship it, whatever. I like casting with you, whatever. We're probably sharing an Airbnb together inside of North Carolina. By the way, if you have the chance to get tickets, if you have the means to do so, please come on out. It's going to be amazing. But that is not the point of contention right now. Right now, we have Bix here getting aggressive early. Knowing that the shower window is open, though, this is a very risky play, and you allow Ashes to push on in as well. Question is do they know that Bix has made his way out towards the bottom of white? It doesn't seem so, and Gav is there to provide him a little bit of support as well. But the pinch is coming in from Victorem. Will they be able to get a kill off of it is the question.
They could. Beamed is still in a good position to deal with this, but Victorem have made good ground, looking to initiate over towards this west side yet again. Bix, however, finds the first. That could end things right there. finding Kappa early, that's a lot of your soft breach down, and pushing over towards this meeting side, that's a lot off the board. Bix does die, though, and they can't build off of that. In towards Storms. No, they don't clear Gav. Where was the audio queue? Where were the drones? It's match points.
He looked towards that way as well. Ash is just with a visual mishap, and now it's Coastal Gaming in the man advantage. They've also downed Rock. Vinny will fall. It's all down to an effective 1v4. Yes, Gav is hurt, but it all comes down to Buzz, who is alone with no diffuser control. And, well, it's all well but done here for Coastal Gaming. Eventually, Gav will find that finish onto Rock. Buzz trying to make whatever he can happen, but the diffuser is down in a very precarious position. He has no ability to establish any vertical angles of his own, so it's going to be through the merit of how much he's been practicing on Aim Lab if he wants to get the round done here. The crossfire's coming out, though. It seems like it's all but over here for the side of Victorem, unless we see one of the more miraculous clutches that I've seen in Rainbow Six Siege during especially my time of casting, but might be all time. The pre-fire's coming through. You're peeking straight into a shotgun. Coastal Gaming punched their ticket into the grand finals here inside of the Genesis Esports League, and Victorem, they're going to be playing for that small bit of the prize pool, that lower percentile. They will be in the third place game. Time to light. What a game, but Coastal Gaming just were too much for them to handle.